Fun.
Welcome, Michelle and Jason.
Hey, how are you?
Good. How are you guys?
Good. I probably will not be on camera. So
Okay, no worries.
I'm on my cell phone in a car, running some unexpected errands. So
That's okay. That happens.
I am parked in a parking lot. Don't worry, I'm not driving somewhere. So
Okay, sounds good. If you don't want to run the meeting, I don't mind doing it if it'd be easier, whatever works. It's just basically reading the agenda, I guess.
I'm fine with whatever. I mean, I like I said, I'm on my mobile, so I can view the documents, but
Okay.
yeah. So.
Okay, that works. We'll do great. There are 5 of us. That means we can vote on things.
Oh, yay.
Nice.
Yay. I was looking up the rules today to make sure I knew what I was saying. Shannon says she may just call in because I think she's at the hospital with someone too. So
well, hopefully all is well.
Yeah, I think it's her mom getting tests or something. It wasn't really specific or terrible as far as I could tell. So, oh no, did we lose someone?
We lost Michelle.
No. So this happens to land on the same week as the ULA conference. So yeah, did you ever go to that when you were?
No, I went to the school one.
Oh, sure. I've been to that one too.
Yeah, I went to that one every year and it was great. We have authors and training. Yeah, it was good.
Awesome.
Yeah,
so it's all over Zoom this year. So it's been interesting, and I had to put together a presentation, and I was a bit of a baby about it. It was overwhelming, but I think we got it.
What did you do it on? What was your presentation?
Well, I'm the chair of the awards committee, and so not only did I have to make a video and a presentation, but I had to get other people to send me videos, and that was the hardest part.
Oh my gracious, yes.
Yeah, and then I had to edit them and make them all work, and it was tough.
And I hope they did a better job than we have of sending you photographs.
Well, I had to get on several of their cases, so I'm used to that.
Yeah,
it's just
all bad. Nag, huh?
Kind of true, yeah. There's Michelle. Hi, Michelle. How are you?
Just fine. We had some technical difficulties there.
That's okay. We understand. Thanks for coming back. We need to have 5 of us to be able to vote, so it's good to see you.
Yeah. So let's start, just in case anyone else gets knocked off.
Okay.
Okay, well, welcome to the board meeting for the American Fork Library, Wednesday, May 19th, 2021. Did we have anything for public comment?
No, we didn't.
Okay. So we have minutes from previous meetings. So November, January, February, and April that we've not approved yet. So is anyone before we look to do that, does anyone have any questions about the minutes or any updates or changes that you feel like need to be made?
No, I didn't see any changes.
No, I didn't either.
They're pretty thorough. So do we need to approve each month separately, or can we do that all as one?
I believe we can do it all as one. Heidi, is that right? Can we approve all of them together, or do we need to do them individually?
Make whatever motion you want, unless these minutes are controversial and board members want to request individual changes to the minutes.
Okay. Well, do I have a motion to approve the minutes from November, January, February, and April?
I will motion that.
I'll second.
Yeah. Great. All in favor?
I,
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay, motion passes and the notes are, or the minutes are approved for our November, January, February, and April library board meetings. Let's move on to updates here. Cassandra.
Okay.
Thank you.
So the first one, we kind of were talking about this before everybody was on, but our COVID guidelines, we're kind of following what the CDC says in the library. We're keeping up our signs that request masks, but then if somebody asks us, we tell them, you know, if you've been vaccinated and it's been 2 weeks, we aren't going to require you to wear one. And it's the same with our staff. We're kind of just letting them govern themselves, but most of them have been really erring on the side of being careful. And so we haven't had too many problems with it so far. So do you guys have any questions or thoughts on that? Other than that, not much has changed.
Have any of the residents, you know, pushed back or made comment on the policy?
I'd say that 99% of them have been positive and saying, oh, it's so good to see some faces and things like that. But yeah, no pushback really.
Oh, that's good. It is good to see faces.
Yeah. Absolutely. Okay. Our carpet is finally done. It finished last week. It took a really long time, but by the end it was like some back stairs and stuff. So we are really grateful that's done. Our self-check stations are up and running. We're having difficulties with one of them that we're still working on. And then our security gates are getting installed in the beginning of June. They were supposed to already be done, but the installer actually ended up leaving that position. And so they had to find someone else. So they were like, we're on a really tight timeline here because this is a grant and it needs to be, you know, all taken care of by the middle of June so we can get our reimbursement. So luckily they've worked really well with us. We're trying to train our staff to be more careful about making sure everything's checked out properly so we don't have a bunch of people beeping all the time as they go through the gates. So that's still in progress. We're going to turn on our gates when we feel fully comfortable that we've got it figured out. But that's where we are there. Yeah. So I emailed you about this, the fines and fees in when they discussed it at City Council, it passed right through. One of them just asked me, Rob asked me if we'd made sure this wasn't going to cause some kind of huge problem. I was like, no, it's going to be fine. And they just passed right through it. So that was a big relief. Yeah, that gets officially approved June 22nd. I don't anticipate any problems. I've always got a folder ready with my arguments in case it does, but I don't think that should be a problem.
Well, that's good. That means we must be making decent decisions or they trust us, right?
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. And we've just, during this conference, we've been hearing a lot of stories of libraries who have gone fine-free and how it's been such a benefit because, for example, in Chicago, they found that the majority of the people with fines were children and they were living in poverty. It's just so sad. So this has totally turned it around, their relationship to the library. So yeah, we're excited.
That's exciting. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. The children's programming room is underway. We have an architect who's drawn up a basic plan of how they're going to make this room. And those meetings are progressing. They hope to have it all finished, the plans, and then start building in September. So that would mean by the end of the fall, it would, or by winter, it would be done. So we're really excited about that. So as they get more formed, I can show you guys what the plans are.
exciting.
Yeah, and do we have a deadline on that too?
So the deadline is going to actually be, since they've extended our grant for 3 years, we have until the summer of next year. So I think we're going to be okay.
Good.
That'll be good.
What about, I'm just curious with all of the construction costs that have been up, you know, like crazy. Has that impacted any of the estimates that have been given or anything like that?
So we didn't actually get official estimates until a couple of months ago, actually. And all of them were higher than we had funds for. But luckily they came in right when the park grants were getting submitted. So I bumped up another $50,000 and asked for that, and we were awarded that. So yeah, it did affect it, but luckily they were willing to bump it up. But I hope it's just done going up, because I've heard so many horror stories.
Yeah.
So fingers crossed.
Yeah, I'm just curious, as you've talked to the contractors, are they going to be able to honor those estimates? I know that that's been a challenge for some that are trying to build right now.
So we haven't gotten to the part where we talk to the contractors. So
Okay.
I'm nervous about that. I'll let you know. Yeah, we're just dealing with the engineering and the architects at this point. So yeah.
Okay.
We may be looking for scrap pieces of wood. Who knows?
I know. If I see any pallets on the side of the highway, I'll pick them up.
Yeah.
We're guarded at night now, you know.
I know.
Yeah.
That's true. Okay. So the other thing we've talked about a little bit is advocacy and visibility. And last time we met, there weren't a lot of people here. We talked about getting you guys these name tags, like mine, and it has my first name and it says director, but we would put library board on the bottom.
Cool.
So I was wondering, first of all, if you guys want your full names. I don't know. I get paranoid about names, that if people have it the way they want it, because my name is spelled weird, so I've always had issues. What do you guys think? Do you want it to be full name? Do you think this is a good idea? It's a lot easier than like a t-shirt or something that's you're kind of stuck with, or a hat. I mean, not everybody wears hats, but what do you guys think?
I'm fine with my first and last name. I mean, it's on the library's website, right? Is my first and last name. So I don't feel like there's any extra exposure, and like any privacy issues for me personally. I mean, first and last name is good.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, I feel like a first name is a little strange. Do you know what I mean? As a library board, it's less professional, and as a librarian, we want people to be chatting with us, so we try to keep it a little more. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So to me, like a full name would work maybe better. What do you think, Heidi?
I agree.
Okay.
That makes perfect sense, because you want to be first name basis with your librarian, but we're
Yeah.
officials.
Right. Yep.
I think that's a good idea. Full name is good.
If you guys are okay with that, I will go ahead and order them. They're very cheap. I can just get those put in, and you can come pick them up whenever. And then whenever there's a city function, or as Jason says, you're going to Hearts and you want to wear it,
exactly.
pop it on, and it's a
Good idea.
conversation starter.
Good idea.
Jamila, are you
Don't put my
okay with your full names too?
Totally.
What's
Yes,
that?
I'm fine.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Don't put my middle name on there.
I
No,
won't.
I'm just kidding.
I don't know it. I don't think it would fit either. All right, sounds great. And then I was going to show you this. I was thinking, if you guys are interested, we have these are our cardigans. These are official librarian cardigans. And they have the nice American Park Library logo, and they zip. And so they're not very feminine necessarily, Jason. So they're also, they're Land's End, so they're really nice. They're kind of a jersey material. These are a little pricey. They're like $50 a piece. And so I was just going to see if you guys are interested, and if you want to, we could say, okay, get me $50 by a certain date and I can order you one.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds good.
Yes, please. I have no concerns about my masculinity. So however they look is how they look.
Okay.
So,
He was worried about them looking feminine enough for the rest of us, Jason. Come on.
That's right. We don't want to appear dainty or fluffy. I don't know. Okay, well, I'll just email you guys.
Can we
And
Venmo you or? Yeah,
I think what we should do is, I think the easiest way to do it is if you write a check. I know that's lame, but to the friends, or you can also give me cash that I will give you a receipt from the friends. Because if it's to me, I don't want to
yeah.
have anything weird happen.
Yeah.
So,
So
okay.
much better to keep it separate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will then work up an email with the price and a date and then a link so you can look at it you can also come in and try one on because we all have them.
Oh, yay.
Yeah.
Because sizing is weird.
I know. Yeah. It actually turned out exactly what everybody ordered fit. So it was a really good one.
Cool.
On this one. So yeah. Okay. And then I was talking about this earlier. I have photos from Jamila, Heidi, Jason, and I think that's it. Am I missing anybody else?
Yes, you are missing me. I don't have yours, Jimmy, yet. The
Okay.
last photo I have is when I was last teaching school, and it's 5 years old and 6 years old now, and I'm getting another one.
Should we just
I
take a
don't-
screenshot right now? No, I'm just kidding.
I was gonna say, I don't mind if it's old. I don't think that's actually a problem, but it's up to you. And maybe I'll kind of pick a deadline with the Cardigans too and let everybody just
That's
know.
a good, yeah. I
Yeah.
work with the dev.
Okay.
Mine was just a selfie that I took 20 minutes ago.
Yeah,
Oh,
it
was
looks
it?
really good.
I'm not super proud of, but I knew that if we didn't do it that way, it was never going to happen.
That
Yeah.
might,
So
That's totally fine.
thankfully, that is like the picture of now, right? Is a
That's
selfie.
true.
Like that's not even
Yeah.
like 10 years ago, that would have been whatever. But now it's,
Yeah.
oh yeah, that's her picture.
Yeah, exactly. It's true. We've become way less precious about pictures. That's great. Okay, and then we also spoke briefly about getting a historical collection committee together, and I've emailed you guys, and I'm sorry, I just haven't narrowed it down, but the thing we talked about last time is having kind of an overview of the year and having anybody who wants to join us to be on this committee to meet sometime in the summer so that it wouldn't be overlapping so much with library board as well. If you're interested, we talked about doing it the first couple of weeks of June based on people's schedule. If that is not going to work for you, that's okay. You don't have to be part of that. It's just optional. So I will pick a date and let you guys know. And if you really want to be a part of it and that date won't work, maybe I'll come up with a couple different options to just get some feedback, if that works. And we also talked about naming the historical collection after Barbara, which I think would be really appropriate. It would she's just what you think of when I go, like, honestly, look at the history of American folk. She was such a big part of it. So we're going to pursue that.
I think it's great.
Okay.
Do you want it moved and seconded, or have we done that yet?
We're not going to vote on that in this one. We'll vote on it in the historical committee, but yeah, for sure. But I wanted to let you guys know, and if you have any contributions or thoughts, and I wanted to let you know that's kind of one of the things we're going to address. And we're also going to talk about what we have and access and how to help the historical collection really reflect American folk and be usable and used, and also preserve what we can. Because as you know, we are not experts at this. So it's going to be, we want it to be based on what American folk wants. So that's kind of why I want your input. So I'll let you know about that. That would be great.
Perfect. So we're moving on to discuss and vote. We got 3 items. So Cassandra, I'm going to let you continue with those.
Okay, so I thought I shared with you guys this calendar, but I'm not sure if I did. Did anybody get a share from a Google Doc?
No.
Okay, I think I imagined I did this and forgot about it, and I'm sorry about that.
I don't remember a calendar.
Okay,
You probably did it and Google Docs just made it impossible.
I probably did it and
He's surprised.
got, yeah. Okay, can everybody see
Hater.
my
She's such a
screen?
Google hater.
Huh?
Yeah,
She's such a Google hater.
It's true. Let's not get into it. Talking about Google too much. Okay, so this was my idea. It's that there are a lot of things that we, that I think it would be a really good idea to have a structure to the year to make sure we get to everything. The other thing I think that would be good is if we had some time to set goals and talk about the strategic plan and how everything fits into that. And then my other thought was that if we look at it ahead and say, okay, we've got some board openings coming this year, we could interview once and then pull from that group throughout the year. And so I was thinking about putting that towards September. Obviously, this is very flexible. We could totally change it according to needs. Like sometimes, for example, the state library can't make January work for our training, so we would flip that with February or something. This also leaves out December and 2 months in the summer and make sure we get all 9 meetings that we have to have. You guys have any thoughts on this? We can certainly adapt it. I'm just trying to, this is the rough draft version.
It's perfect.
Yeah, well, good.
Great.
It's perfect. And I would even take it next level, put the actual meeting dates on it and post it at the website under the boards page.
Okay.
That's
Oh,
a good
yes, I
idea.
like that idea.
Yeah.
That's a great idea.
So on May, it has set goals for new fiscal year and long-term strategic plan. Is that so we don't have time tonight for that, right? I mean,
Right, yeah. I actually just thought of that. I was like, well, this is starting next year.
The city's fiscal year runs July 1st to June 30th, right?
Right, yeah. So we can take a look this summer at what the recruitments are, and it may not, when I was looking at it, I'm not sure we're going to have any this year. So that would give us September and August to kind of play around with that. But I think we should have one of those meetings where we talk about this and then just start doing it in May. So we're more prepared come in the future.
oh, I see so you're planning on this starting this coming August.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay, perfect.
Yeah, that's one of those things that just gets tossed aside in all the other stuff. And so this would help me and help all of us to make sure we get to that stuff.
It's a good idea.
Yep, it looks great.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right.
All right. So do we need to vote on that?
I put it in there, but I'm not 100% sure we do. Do you know, Heidi?
I'll move the adoption of a yearly schedule of board meetings with topics tentatively outlined to be posted on the board's website once a year.
Okay, do I have a second?
I second.
All in favor?
I
Any opposed? Okay, motion passes.
Great.
And I'm not gonna motion pass repeat everything that Heidi said. No.
That's right.
Well, it's just
It's-
always nice to include that word tentative so that we
Right.
don't raise some irate member of the public's hopes.
Right.
I agree. Thank you.
True.
That's well said.
So on this next piece, Cassandra, do you want, well, we can ask on this next piece for the policy updates.
Mhm.
Does anyone feel like we need to actually look at the policy together, or has everyone had a chance to review the policy changes prior to the meeting?
I reviewed it and had some questions.
Yeah, so me too.
Yeah, I read it.
Okay, so I think everyone read it. Let's go ahead with the questions then, right?
Yeah, let's start with those. That'd be great. Shannon, do you want to start?
Okay, page 1, loan
Mhm.
periods.
Mhm.
Are kits and reserve books and magazines going to go up to the same thing as books, 28 days of loan periods, or?
That is a great question. So actually, we don't have magazines anymore.
Okay,
We don't, and I'll tell you why. It's because during the pandemic, so many magazines folded that we were getting like their filler magazines, if that makes sense. We were down to like a handful that were actually still coming. And at the same time, the state started paying for digital magazines. And so we were like, we're getting double of these. And we could find something at least similar, if not the exact same kind of magazine on Overdrive for free.
So I don't need to subscribe to a magazine anymore. I can go onto Overdrive.
Yep,
Yeah.
absolutely.
like
The
The
a
one that we
newspaper,
kept, can you guys guess what it is?
National Geographic,
You're close. That one is
Librarian.
actually,
Smithsonian.
no, it's
Librarians of America.
well, we actually get the librarian ones and hide those. Those are just for us, right? But
What are the
it's
centerfolds like?
they're gorgeous libraries. Always are. So the one that we kept is Consumer Reports. That's the only one that people still want. You know, a lot of people want them. They're- So reserve
Surprised to
books-
see that no one's just getting that online.
Right, yeah. That
Yeah.
one actually does have a database, but it's very expensive. It's cheaper to buy the magazine. So we looked into that as well. Reserve books, we just don't have those anymore. We just check out everything pretty much. Kits, we've decided to make those more specific, like games and puzzles are considered kits, hotspots are considered kits. So those are all book length and they're in here now as their own thing, if that makes sense. Oh, actually, games and puzzles are 14 days. I forgot.
I don't want to lead you too far off topic, but this online magazine thing is just absolutely fascinating to me, and it's new.
Yeah.
And I'm a reasonably educated library user, and I would never ever have thought to look online for magazines through my library. And I'm thinking this would be a great topic for a display,
Yeah,
a highlight in the newsletter,
that is a great idea.
and including maybe a how-to of what they
Yeah.
have and here's how you access it. And if you need help, ask a librarian.
Okay. I think that's a great idea. So many things have changed this year that sometimes we forget that we haven't told you guys or told the public. So I appreciate that type of thing. And plus, we're always looking for topics. So that's great.
You want the rest of my questions, or do you want
Yes.
anybody else on page 1?
Yeah, well, maybe we could go through page by page. Just page 1. Anybody else have any questions?
Yeah, let's see, towards the bottom, where it talks about overdue material. Any item kept after the return date is overdue. An overdue notice will be sent out either by mail or email after 1 day and 14 days. Now, I don't know if this is really specific to the policy, but you do an auto renew notice, right?
Yeah, so we have never really worked that into the policy either. And you bring up a good point. Also, it made me realize that the end of 60 days overdue is incorrect. So I'm glad you brought that up. So you guys have probably gotten these emails where they say you have an item overdue and then you don't return it. And then it gives you an email saying, we renewed you, right? Check your dates below. And that's been kind of how we've done it lately. So does that work for you? I mean, would it be better to incorporate it into the policy a little bit? I'm not quite sure how to do it without essentially saying, just wait and see.
I love it because I am overdue and it's like, oh, I need to take that back. And then a few days later, I get that it's already been renewed.
Yeah.
So
Was that one of our interview questions? If you have overdue books to be on the board? Because I don't know if that's allowed.
listen, I look at it as my contribution to the library fund.
Right, yes.
But now
A
with
forced
no
contribution.
fines, I'm gonna have to figure out another way to contribute, I guess.
Well,
Yeah.
there's always the little friends box out there. We're gonna,
Yeah,
if somebody
okay.
really wants to pay, they can stick it in that.
You know, Sandy, that's what my grandmother always told me. Overdue fines are good for the library because then we can buy more books. But
That's
Sandy
right.
told us a little while ago that no, all that money just goes to the city.
Oh,
Get it to buy new books.
well, that's not good. I don't want it to go to the city.
So if you put it in the friends, then
I will remember that.
it's
I will-
more directly helpful. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know how representative my mindset is, but when
Mhm.
I check out a book for the library, from the library, I usually know I'm not going to finish it before 3 months.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
And so
unfortunately.
I'm waiting for the 3 months to come around.
Yeah.
And so when I get those notices, I say, okay, do I have another month or not?
Right.
It's a little bit of a panic for me.
I mean, let's see. Let's kind of feel this out. So we could say if, and maybe this isn't where we put it, but if we say something like, if the item is not on hold for another patron, the library will automatically renew it.
Yeah, and that just happened to me. I don't remember how long I'd had the book, but this one said, the notice said it could not be renewed again because it was on hold.
Mhm.
And so I actually dropped everything and finished that book. And I
Yeah,
got-
right.
What was it?
Oh, it was The Great Gatsby.
Oh,
yeah.
I'll loan it to you next time. I have 2 of them on my shelf.
I bet you did. I read it with my son and I dreaded reading it because I remember when I was a junior in high school. But
Yeah.
this time it was around, it was just amazing. It really gripped me.
Yeah.
Nice. Do we need to say something right there about the? I'm not looking at your screen, but do we need to say
Right.
something right there about the fact that that it's up to 3 months, right? I mean, I know we talk about it, there in that section, but I'm just wondering if, as part of that language, that it will be auto renewed for a total of, or up to, or for the, once, twice, 3 times,
Yeah.
however we want to say it.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that I wrote, this is exactly what I wrote. If the item is not on hold for another patron, the library will automatically renew it for up to 3 checkout
Okay.
periods.
Perfect.
And
Okay.
then it should say at the end of one more checkout period.
The end of 3
Because-
checkout periods.
Yeah,
Will be presumed lost, is that it?
right.
Mhm.
It
Yeah.
will be declared lost in the patron.
Mhm.
Does presumed sound better than declared?
Presumed.
I think
Yeah,
the
presumed
declaration
is
is
better.
good. We're gonna take action at that point, right? I mean, they're
Yeah.
gonna owe, and so I don't know if maybe presumption works. I just think where we're gonna take action, there needs to be like an official ruling that item is not coming back to us.
Oh,
Right. It's like it's not even said that it's lost or thought. It's actually labeled lost,
yeah.
Lost to us, at least, yeah.
What's the right word for that?
I think
Declared.
declare.
Okay. All right. Let's just keep declared.
And I think that's the right approach. So you say
Mhm.
all materials will renew for 3 months or until another patron requests it. And then after this, then it will be considered not overdue, but lost. If it doesn't come back.
Right.
Yeah.
But there's an additional checkout period after the 3 months.
No.
Right?
Well, what it is that after 3 let's say it's a book after 3 months, then they get one more month and then we're like, okay, it's lost.
Right.
The notice says this book was due, it cannot be renewed. Please return it. If it is not returned within 28 days, it will be declared lost.
That's right, exactly.
And you will be, please see our policy to find out how much you owe, something like that.
Yeah, exactly. Or you'll be responsible for the entire replacement
on the
cost
next
or
page.
something.
Yes, responsible for replacement costs. There you go.
So what we'll do is when we word our notices, we take it from this. We may have to tweak it a tiny bit, but it will say essentially these things. Sometimes we just edit it for language to get it shorter. But if we have this, then we'll be good.
Okay. Is somebody taking detailed notes? Because I think we gave you some precision language here.
Oh, we're videotaping it, so even
Yeah, it
if
is
not,
recorded.
we could go through it. Yeah.
I did not write down everything you said, even what you wanted, because I couldn't write that fast, but.
Right. Yeah, I think we can go back and watch it. I think this is kind of what we wanted to say, though. I may end up, I'm thinking this may actually need to go towards the beginning of this thing. I may have to rearrange the sentences. Is that okay with you guys if I do that later? Because I'm not 100% sure it's flowing really well.
That's how I thought it would work, though. After it says overdue material, the first sentence is, all items will be auto-renewed unless, and then the next sentence is, items that are not returned at the end of that period will be declared lost.
Should I put this blue one first then?
So right now I can only see your calendar. I can't see the policy.
Oh, sorry. Let me put down the calendar. Can you see it now?
No.
I'm sorry. All right.
I'll hold mine up like this, girls. And
okay. There we go. Okay, can you guys see it now? I'm so sorry.
Got it.
No worries.
Perfect.
Jason, can you see it? Maybe not. Any item kept after the.
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yes.
Okay.
Any item kept after the return date.
Declared lost.
I think you have to say any item kept 28 days after the return date will be declared lost.
Yeah.
It's overdue.
That's on the top of page 2.
Right now, what is the difference between overdue and lost? They do have one checkout period that is just overdue, and then it's lost.
I don't know. To me, overdue means a fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe that word just needs to be taken. You know, you have up to 90 days to keep this item. That's rough. But
any item kept.
Items not.
Well, maybe if we say any item kept 21 checkout period after the final due date.
There you go.
Yeah.
You know, on page 2, you sort of say that if a borrower cannot locate an item 28 days after it's due to be returned, the borrower will be charged the cost to replace the item.
Right.
4th paragraph on the 2nd page.
And then we can say, and we'll get to that in just a second. And we can just say a notice will be sent out either by mail or email. So maybe
Collection agency.
we don't actually use a collection agency, but some libraries do.
We used to. I'm so glad those days are over.
Yeah, there's nothing like that to create a bad feeling with people. It's terrible.
We do have a repo man now, though. So it's not really collections, but.
Is that your part-time job, Jason?
Did anybody used to watch Arthur? Do you remember the
Yes.
Yeah.
And the chain that calls the book back?
All right, I am just combining that sentence about how they'll be responsible for the replacement cost here.
Oh, perfect.
And
Do
that
you
way
also want to
it was-
you also want to use declared there instead of considered?
Yeah, let's do that. I just, you know, I didn't want to use it twice, but if we're getting rid of that sentence, that's perfect. And we're taking out processing fee. Is that okay with you guys if I just delete it?
Get rid of it.
Yep.
Awesome. Thank you.
Well, that's page 1.
Okay, it's page 2.
I really like the sentence that says, whenever charges accumulate to $10 or more, borrowing privileges are suspended. I think that's very straightforward. I like
Okay.
that.
All right, sounds good. And we've taken out fines. There are a couple places where well, here I put charges instead because we want to get rid of that idea. And this is a little redundant. There's some times where I mention this again. So this may take a little bit more editing as we go.
In that 4th paragraph, if a borrower cannot locate an item, you need to take
Yeah.
that out of time, I believe.
Yeah. Right.
Can I go further into that paragraph?
Yeah.
So the last sentence, almost the last sentence, charges for lost or damaged items shall be assessed. I thought we wanted a little more clarity here.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to say charges for lost or damaged items shall include the price of the item plus any applicable fees listed in the fee section.
Okay, so I think what we may want to do, and is there, maybe that's where we say see appendix 6.
Yes.
Because you're absolutely right. Yeah, because it over here is where we can go into detail about, you know, a barcode is $1 and a DVD case is $1. So yeah, it sounded like to me that made more sense there.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go back up there. I'll just make a note. It says see appendix 6 up here, but since we're cutting this so much, I may have to rearrange it and combine a couple of paragraphs.
Appendix 6 does
Gets
all the
brought up.
little things, the CD cases and the barcode, but it doesn't have the
Right.
item itself. That's why I think.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
It'll include the price of the item plus any other applicable charges.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wonder if we should say charges for lost, because it's almost separate. Charges for lost items are the replacement cost.
Of the item.
And then period damaged items shall be assessed. Because do you see what I'm saying? They're not going to find that anywhere except in their account when they get charged.
It seems that we want to say charges for lost items, other replacement cost, and any applicable fees. Is that right?
Well, that's a good question. That's a great question. So what we had been doing is the $5 processing fee. And we talked about taking that out because since we get such a good deal on the book that and we charge the full amount to replace it, that it's kind of already in there.
So the appendix 6 is only for damage. So
right, yeah.
When my kindergartner rips off the barcode,
Right.
that's why we have that list, is so that I can just say, I'm so sorry, here's my $1. Thank you so much, kind librarians.
Exactly.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. It only applies to damaged stuff.
I
Okay.
wish my mother had been so easy like you.
Well, he is my 6th child. I was probably
That's right. Yeah. I was
Mellowed.
3. My mom was still learning on me.
We also took out, we're considering just eliminating the option to get your fee returned to you if you've paid for a book. And the reason I say that is because most people just take it as a credit on their account because they don't want to, really it's because they don't want to talk to us. They stick it in our bin, we check it in, and oh my goodness, now they have a credit. And then whenever they get late fees, it, you know, it just takes it off of that. So if we're taking away late fees, it seems kind of like it would never, they would never want it. If that makes more sense.
That does.
Well, oh, so you just took that out. Yeah, that made sense. Yeah.
Yep.
And then the next section, I also thought just a word or two of clarity where it says after that time. Instead, I would say if the patron then finds the item, they have the option to keep it.
Right. That's
Donate it back to
exactly
them.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. We've had so many people come in with like obvious, like really old books that they found, and some, you know, seller on Amazon had them. And if you're going to do that, we probably don't even want it, to be honest. We'd rather just have you pay the replacement cost. Eventually it'll make its way to us, maybe. And then we can move on.
Copies.
Yeah. Yeah. We get something that people want.
Yeah.
Yeah, so just to clarify that if they find it, that's what you're talking about there.
Right. Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. And yeah, do you think that makes sense the way it's said?
Yeah.
There's option to keep the item.
Well, no, see, after that time is what I would replace those words with if the patron then finds the book.
Okay, that's great.
Yeah.
It is the patrons.
Yes.
Yes, right.
And same page, by the way. The paragraph that starts, if a patron reports that the library items have been stolen, yada, yada, yada. At the very end, Sandy, help me, this is an English thing.
What?
Okay, lost and checkout will not be possible until the items are returned or the replacement cost. Or it should be is paid because replacement
let's see.
cost is singular.
Yeah.
It should be replacement costs with an S.
No, replacement cost is paid. Let's see. Lost and checked out. I think, and replacement costs are paid. Or replace, yeah, because it's either or. And so replacement cost is singular. So don't you think?
So I would make it costs and leave the R.
Yeah, I think you're totally
Yeah.
right. Oh, I was getting rid of the wrong thing too. So yeah, replacement costs are paid. Good.
Okay.
Yeah.
You guys are just like us. We totally are like this here. I was walking by a poster and I'm like, that's misspelled. And the person who made it was like, oh my goodness, I'm so embarrassed. And they ran out and fixed it.
I no longer go through Walmart with my black marker and read.
Yeah. I used to give my students extra credit if they could find mistakes like that, especially on billboards.
Yeah. You would think a
Or signs
sign
in the library.
professional.
I know.
Yeah.
It's just ridiculous.
I know.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Any more on page 2? Any more thoughts or questions or comments? Okay, I'm going to move down to page 3. So interlibrary loans. Yeah, so it just needed to be updated. We took away the cost for interlibrary loan about a year ago. And so we're just kind of getting a little more thorough. We took away the charge that we would charge them. It's all based on the home library, what they want to do. Okay, interlibrary loan is occasionally in this for some reason capitalized and some reason not, and sometimes not. Shannon?
Oh, it's not a proper
Okay,
noun.
go ahead with that one, but I have another question.
Okay. I don't think it's a proper noun either. It shouldn't be, right?
Yeah, I wouldn't think so.
Okay, I'm going to be really thorough and make sure this is totally right. Okay, what were you going to say, Shannon?
Okay, in the second paragraph, Start with the sentence, the following materials are not available for borrowing from other libraries.
Mhm.
Items which are owned by the American Public Library. That's a duh to me.
Yeah.
You can't borrow
Well,
okay, so you can't borrow it from another library just because it's already checked out by
Right.
somebody from American Board.
right.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you. I just needed to say it out loud in front of people.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
No, I mean, we probably will have some random person someday ask for that.
Okay.
And we don't have reference anymore, so I took that out.
Now that's puzzling to me. How do we not have reference?
Because we don't have anything except historical records that can't be checked out. Like if you want to borrow an encyclopedia, you can.
Really?
In the good old days, you used to not be able to. They used to have to stay, but they're so rarely used because of the internet now that it's much more, you can take it. It doesn't need to stay here to be a resource because we have got a dozen databases that do the same thing.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And I'm that old. I used to read dictionaries and pages in the encyclopedia just for fun.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
But it would be
Awesome.
funny if someone checked out one volume of an encyclopedia and then it's not available to other patrons.
I know we've actually seen so little actual use of our encyclopedias at all.
Wow.
That hasn't been a problem. And in fact, I think I know we had some that were like Encyclopedia of World War II or something that we ended up weeding because no one was even looking at them at all.
Yeah.
I thought I saw a sign that said we would pay someone to read them or check them out.
Yeah, does anybody under 25 know what an encyclopedia is?
That's a really good point.
It is. Yeah.
They all try to say that the internet's going to put the library out of business, and that's clearly not true, but I think it is the reference section that the internet threatens.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. And it's democratized it in a library as well. Like it's more accessible and you can check it out.
Okay.
This was a random one. The how do you say that? Photographing and videotaping.
Uh-huh.
So we redid our policy on that a few years ago, and it's basically this second two paragraphs, but over the past year, we've had actually probably about 18 months because it was pre-pandemic, but have you guys heard of these First Amendment rights auditors that will come to different places and they will basically, it's so ubiquitous now, cameras and phones, and that if you're in a public place, there's not much anybody can do to get you to stop taking photos of them. And so they come and you should Google this or look on YouTube for this, but they come into public places, including libraries, and take videos of the staff not knowing how to handle it, right?
Oh, boy.
And so we had to really look into this, and basically we just need to take out that first sentence because people are taking pictures in here all the time. I'm not walking around authorizing anything, and it's just
I've seen it on
would cause
TikTok.
problems. Yeah. Oh my goodness. So anyway, that's what that was for. There is the stuff at the end about for commercial purposes that has to be reviewed by me.
Mm-hmm.
But
What was
otherwise,
the name? What was the name of that group that goes around and videos?
It's several groups. There's one
Oh.
in Salt Lake City. So if you want to like really see how they handle at a library, look at Salt Lake City Library First Amendment Audit.
First Amendment. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to do that.
Yeah. And I know several people that work at that library, and my heart goes out to them. It's tough.
I remember when we discussed this, though, it was more of a issue that we were concerned with the children's programs
Right.
and having children videotaped and that type of thing. And so,
Yeah. Right. And so what we've decided is that if this does happen, first of all, the best thing to do is to stay out of their way, but kind of maybe follow them. Or there have been people who've offered to do a tour, which I'm perfectly happy to do, to maybe control a little bit of the message that comes out of it. And to say, can we just request that you don't videotape children?
yeah.
And that honestly is just asking as a courtesy. Apparently some people don't care to be courteous, but
Yeah.
we can't really force them to not do that. But you're right, it's rude and it's an invasion of privacy. So I'm really crossing my fingers this doesn't ever happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if you watch the videos, I don't see them really getting up in patrons' business at all. It's the staff.
The staff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Great.
Okay, so the rest of this page, I just added this date. And we talked a little bit about this. We just took out this first paragraph because it's all the late fees are there. And the rest of the things really haven't changed.
Andrea,
Uh-huh.
I just took my ancient library card that you couldn't even use with the self-check machines. Oh, those are so fun, by the way. And it finally broke, as well as you had to enter the number by hand. And she just gave me a new library card and I didn't pay the $2.
Yes.
So
So
I owe
that's, no, you don't. So let me just tell you, we have so many cards. We're trying to get rid of them a little bit because we want an updated version of them. So we have not been enforcing that fee. I don't know.
I still have
Sounds like an ethics violation to me.
I agree, and I'm still on the board. Please. Okay.
You can put $2 in the friends.
There you go.
Will do.
Yeah. And if a kid comes in and he lost it, it's like, here you go. We'd rather they use the library than get that $2.
Okay.
Plus, if you've used the library card to death, I think you deserve a free new one because that's great.
Mine was only like 30 years old too.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's great.
We had to tape the computer number onto it the last time I.
Oh, that's great.
Okay, sorry.
Okay, any other comments or anything?
No.
Of course, I still have to clean this up and they still have to vote. So it won't be 100% ready. But I think we got all these details worked out. I really appreciate you guys.
I think you've done a great job of writing everything down because it can get so nitpicky that it becomes impossible.
Right. Yeah. And
everything.
Yeah. And I tweak what other people have done and they've tweaked other people. So I'm just really grateful to start with,
It looks
a good
good.
template. So thanks.
Thank you. Great job.
Can I ask, you initiated this last fall while I was not serving on the board. And so I didn't get to hear the rationale. So why are we moving to no fines nationwide?
Because there's been this movement to break barriers to people using the library. That's really the heart of it. And that the people hurt the most by fines are the people that need it the most. The people with children with, no adult to pay their fine. It's people who are underprivileged. Those are the people that should be here. And I have heard so many times a mom yell at their kid, "We're never coming back here because you made me pay this fine." And that is so heartbreaking. And so we're just eliminating that as any kind of barrier to people. coming back. That's the main thing.
It takes time, effort, energy, and money to collect those fines, which are not a huge moneymaker in the first
Right.
place.
Yeah, we did the math and we were spending over $11,000 a year just in our own time. And we were collecting less than $3,000.
My goodness.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Wow. So is that basically?
So
what
this
we're
isn't
doing?
because Sandy has some really big fine that she owes and she's trying to get it erased. That's not why.
Yep.
Sandy's probably one of the people that pays.
I do.
Yeah. Heidi, sorry, did you have a follow-up question?
Oh, I was going to say, is that's probably how you explained it to the city council then? Because you said they didn't bat an eye.
They didn't even ask for any explanation, right, Shannon? They just said, I'm glad to see this is back on here.
Yeah, and you did give in the notes for the city council meeting how much you had collected each year and how much it cost to make that collection. So they saw the numbers.
That's right. Yeah. Assuming they read what I gave them, it had all of this information in there. That's true.
Well, what a day. What a day
Yeah.
this is. I think
Yeah.
it's beautiful.
I know it's
Yeah.
exciting.
Yep. Well done.
So do we need to have any cleanup done before we can vote to approve this, or are we in a position where we can do that tonight?
Oh,
I think it's really just going with the edits that were here. There may be just a couple of tiny little tweaks. Heidi, what do you think?
I think we all have the same understanding of what it's going to say. And you edited it in real time in front of us. And so I know you'll clean up a couple items, but I'm comfortable making a motion of approval contingent on the edits that have been recommended in this discussion.
I second it.
Okay, so we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay, motion passes.
Thank you.
And there's one last item, right?
Right. Yes. So I was hoping to know a little bit more about something, but okay. I have applied for another master's program that starts in the fall. I'm not 100% sure I'm going to get in. It's an MPA through EMPA through BYU. So it's an executive master's of public administration. So it's the management side of my job. I just find it really fascinating and I would like to know more and feel like I'm a little more comfortable with it.
You have so much extra time to spend and money.
Andrea, what are you really saying? You're not kidding, are you? I'm sorry.
No. I'm saying that Wednesday nights may be taken up. That's all I'm saying.
No problem. We can handle it.
Okay, so the program goes, it's 3 years and it's one night a week for basically 3 years straight. So, and it's on Wednesdays. So that's the only reason I brought this up. And it may not be an issue. I may not get in. I may decide not to do it. I have no idea, but I just wanted to feel you guys out. Is that a deal breaker for anybody? Should we look into earlier or change the times now? Should we wait?
I could move to Thursdays or something similar.
At this
Thursdays are bad for me, but
Okay.
Tuesdays.
Is there a different time that would work? Does everybody need it to be in the evening? I mean, are there times during the day that would work for anybody, or we need to do the evening?
I need evening.
Okay.
I need evening. Yeah.
Okay. That's good to know.
Does
Our
9 o'clock in the
Tuesdays.
evening work?
Sorry, what? Shannon, what did you say?
At 9 o'clock in the evening work?
Yeah, we could do that. And the other thing is that doing it on Wednesdays, I believe the classes actually start at 7:30 or 8. So we could even bump it up a little bit on Wednesdays.
Oh, right. So if we met at 6, we could be done well in time for you to get
Yeah, we could do that, or 5:30. I'd have to like figure out exactly how long, because it's at the Salt Lake Extension. I'm not sure
You have
how
to,
long that would take, but
I'd have
yeah,
to start going in person, huh?
yeah. I know. I was like, can I just do it online? But no, you have to go.
and because the pandemic is going to end at some point,
Mhm.
we'll
Yeah.
be meeting back in the library, which means
Mhm.
we'll have to stick to library hours.
Right. Yeah, that's true. That's a good point.
Yeah.
I can meet earlier on Wednesdays. That's fine. Or Tuesdays, good for me. It's just my schedule.
When will you know?
I was supposed to know earlier this week.
Well, I just have to, I make out my schedule during the summer. So as long as I know in advance of the school year, I can probably arrange things.
Okay. Okay. Well, we don't even have
You
to.
You just want to if you want to let us know, and then we can just
Okay.
vote on it next time if we need to. So
Okay, that sounds great. And do we need to actually officially vote on a new time, or can we just change it and let them know?
I would ask the recorder.
Okay, I'll ask her. Okay, yeah, I'm sorry I don't have more definite answer for
no
you.
worries. Good luck with that.
Thanks.
We hope you get in.
Thanks.
Yeah. Okay. So I had one other item. I just wanted to say thanks to Shannon for coordinating the recognition gift, and they were delicious. So I got
Oh, you're
Girl
right.
Scout
Aaron
cookies.
did a good job, but
I got Girl Scout cookies, so they were excellent.
Yes, they were.
Amen. Thank you so much.
Very good.
And I hope everyone at the library liked those too.
Oh, they did. They were all asking me where I got them. So
Oh, good.
where did she get these? So yeah.
Oh, Aaron made them.
Yeah, right. I remembered that.
Which is amazing, but also a bummer because now there's not a bakery I can just go and get them when I have a craving.
Oh, well, there
Right.
is.
There
She's
is.
on Instagram, and you can order whenever you want.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah.
On Instagram. So what do I type in on Instagram? Because they were that amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Dolce Bella by Aaron.
Okay, spell it.
Yeah, DOLCE
Uh-huh.
BY
BYERIN.
ERIN.
Okay.
And I'm not encouraging you or trying to promote her business.
Well,
Just to be clear.
That
So
that was
I
was my agenda for tonight, was to find out if she sells those.
She does. So
That's great.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, that was
Used to
really
sell 'em at-
thoughtful.
she
They
used
were delicious.
to sell at Dear Lizzie up in Highland, but they
Oh.
closed. So
Yeah,
anyway,
cool.
I wonder, was that a COVID closure? Because I was sad to see that.
nope, that was pre-COVID. That was right
Okay.
before COVID. So
I was sad to see the building go empty.
Yeah. Yep.
I think we got everything. So do we have a motion to dismiss?
One question before you do. Before I came in, you approved all the notes, the minutes on all those?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
We did.
And it's not Dolce Vita by Aaron, it's just Dolce by Aaron?
Dolce Bella. Dolce Bella.
Dolce Bella.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. So any other
Well-
questions from anyone? Sorry, did we have a motion?
I will
moved.
make it. I'll second it.
Okay, all in favor of dismissing?
Hi.
Aye.
Thank
Okay,
you.
well, go ahead and dismiss. Thanks, everyone.
And it was
Thank you,
also fun
guys.
to find out where you all live, by the way. I
Yeah.
have connections to where everybody is.
Thank you, Shannon.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
All righty. Good night. Thanks,
Okay,
Susanna.
bye-bye.